So as the name suggests, transitions basically refers to, like they say, you are in transit. That means you are traveling from one place to the other. Similarly, when I have transitions in PowerPoint, it indicates that we are basically moving one slide to move on to the second one. As simple as that. Transitions is basically nothing but moving from one slide to the next. So as I was saying, that if I'm looking at creating a presentation and I'm looking at creating transitions for it, first step would be I would go into transitions and see whether are there any transitions which have been applied right now. And it says there are no transitions. Okay. But when I look at this slide, I can see there is a star over here. Under one, I've placed my mouse over there. You all should also be able to see. There is a star over here. There's no star here. There is no star here. There is no star here. On number 5, again, there is a star. But on 6, there is no star. 7 is blank. If my transition is none, then what is the star? And why is it there only on 1 and 5? Why is it not there in the remaining ones? That means it has some meaning. And it's got something to do with transitions for sure. Whenever you see a star on any slide, that means there is a particular transition which has been applied. And the transition that has been applied in this case is none after 5 seconds. As soon as I choose after 5 seconds, I have applied transition to my slide, irrespective of whether I've chosen a design or no. It's none here. But as soon as I made it after 5 seconds, that means after 5 seconds, my first slide is automatically going to change to slide number 2. So transition does not mean that you have to have an effect from this entire box. I can keep it none. I can keep it 5 seconds. My slide will move from the first slide and open the second slide. Same way, I can go to the second slide, choose none, and just make it after 5 seconds. And my transition will happen after 5 seconds. Now again, I'm asking you, I have applied the same thing here after 5 seconds. And I've applied here also after 5 seconds. So I'm telling you that there is a transition which has been applied. But how come there is no star on the second one and there is a star on the first one? I've applied transition for both. See? There's a transition, in fact, for all my slides. How come there is no star in any of the slides, but slide number 1 and slide number 5 has a star? That means this star has got no relation with transition. It's got relation with animations. See here, I place my mouse on the star and says play animations. So whenever you see a star on any of the slides, you need to understand that there is a certain animation which has been applied to that particular slide. All right. So I come to my transition panel and I say, chalo yaar, अब ट्रांजिशन अप्लाई करना है, प्रेजेंटेशन को अट्रैक्टिव करना है, थोड़ा एक्शन डालना. As I told you all earlier also that PowerPoint is divided into various elements. Those elements were backgrounds, text, pictures, videos, music. These are the elements which we use in PowerPoint. Transition is not an element in PowerPoint. Transition is a visual impact in PowerPoint. To create a visual impact in our presentation, we use transitions and animations. Remember, they are not the elements of PowerPoint. Huh? They are the visual impact creating factors in PowerPoint. So it shows me here certain different animations or different transitions, exciting, dynamic, content, subtle. So I should just randomly go and select, right? Oh, you know what? I like this. I like this, you know. Excellent. Yeah. I love this. So I applied this. Okay. Then I go to this slide. Okay. You know what? You know, I like this. Yeah. Superb. Yeah. So I apply this. Okay. Yeah. What next? You know, I like this. Super. Looks so good, right? I applied one transition on this one, which was like this. I applied another transition which looked like this. And I applied a third transition which looked like this. Now, even though I've applied transitions, but this is not correct. Why I'm telling you that is very simple. PowerPoint has divided transition into 3 sections. One is called subtle, one is called exciting, one is called dynamic. Generally, our intro slide, the way we launch our presentation, generally there we try to create an excitement. So we use something like a vortex. It comes beautifully, you know. So nicely it appears. After I choose this, I say, okay, this looks good. The next step is the effect options. This is very important. How do you want that impact? Do you want it from the left? Do you want it from top? So look at the way it's coming. करके नीचे से ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है. Do you want it from the right? Beautiful. It goes like that, round and comes. Right now, whatever option I'm choosing is not showing that much impact. Because as I've told you, the duration is very important. I'm going to increase the duration to, let's say, 6.5. Now watch. It's giving a better impact. No. Why? Because this was 4. Now I'll make it 6. And now I'll play. I'll preview it. Now look at the impact. The vortex effect is very much more visible, like the Matrix. You know the movie Matrix, if you have seen. This is got that Matrix effect. Like this, whenever you apply a transition, you apply an exciting transition at the beginning. Maybe you can end the presentation also with an exciting transition. But you can't again randomly choose anything. These are in families. They are clubbed together as families actually. For example, I've got cube, door, and box. These 3 are of the same family. Watch. Cube gives a nice feeling. Doors gives a nice feeling. And box. You must have realized cube, door, and box are in the same family because the way they appear on your presentation, the way they play on your presentation. I can't be having a cube and then just with the cube have a vortex. मजा नहीं आएगा. It's like north and south. ये play किया, फिर ये play किया. There's no relation. So even when you choose your excitement, you balance it out. The best way to run a presentation is when you have one exciting element in the beginning and then going forward you have the most popular one known as fade. You might say second slide पे भी थोड़ा I can do some excitement. ठीक है, काम करो second slide को intro जैसा curtain दे दो चाहिए तो एक opening जैसा हो जाएगा. कि आपका presentation open हो रहा है. For example, if it's an inauguration of a store or it's an inauguration of a boutique or something, you can apply the curtains and then maybe have the slide with a picture of the different products or stuff like that. You would not put something like this. Never. Or you would not put something like this. Oh God, never. When would I use these? I would use these if I was doing something to do with the film industry. If I was trying to project a movie, if I was trying to project a particular web series, and then I was having a presentation based on that to show that the different types of effects that the web series is going to have on people, or the different type of effects that the web series is going to be implemented with, then I could use a fracture which shows glass crashing, it shows a crush, it shows paper being crumpled and thrown, it shows peel off where a page would go across the page, it would show wind where the slide would go like this flying away, it would show aeroplane where I would have a plane like an effect going across, origami which would break like this, fly away. See how interesting these are. But you can't be using this for a corporate presentation. I don't think it makes sense. I would use either glitter, honeycomb, vortex, or shred to start my presentation. Ripple also would not be a bad one to start off with. I would love to use cubes, doors, and boxes. Doors would be fantastic to launch the presentation like this. So a door opens up and I could change the duration of my door. And I've got again door options, vertical, horizontal. I could have a horizontal door like this. Horizontal doesn't look good. Vertical makes sense. I could have a longer duration so the door opens slowly. Like this. Look at that. It gives that feeling the door is open and that picture is coming in the front. It's a good idea to start a presentation with. But during my presentation for the remaining slides, let's say from slide number 3, I would use the most popular one known as fade, which is used in all possible presentations. I would increase the duration again. See, when I increase the duration, you can feel the fade. Look at that. So smoothly it fades off. But less duration is too quick for a person to retain the animation you have applied. Right? Keep a nice duration. Anything above, anything between 3 to 3.5, 4 is good. When you go to 1.5 and all, it's like this. You know, it's a little fast. So these are the important things when you're working with transitions. Choose the effect option that you want. If you want to fade it to black, it gives that black color feel to it, like movies have it. See? That fade is good. Reveal is good. Interesting effect. Look at that, how it goes, the reveal. The reveal is got different from right, from left, through black. From left, if I put this up, it kind of moves a little on the side and the next one comes. And similar to fade, but interesting. Reveal is good, fade is good. These are very professional aspects of transitions. Exciting is good, but as I told you, use it sparingly. Use it only where you want to create that particular impact during your presentation. Then it will have more value. Same way, dynamic Ferris wheel is a very, see that, look at that, how it moved. It's an interesting effect. Conveyor, good effect. Rotate, similar to the box. Window, similar to door. Orbit, again similar. Fly through. But somehow only few of them have a lot of impact. Like the Ferris wheel is a nice one. Brings the text in. Using the Ferris wheel would not be a bad idea. If I increase the duration, the Ferris wheel would look very nice again. Just to show you. See how smoothly it moves off and the next one is going to come in. Look at that. Saw that? So nicely, so neatly it just entered into the screen. Like as if the text is coming from the sky somewhere. You know. So these are the different transitions that we use during our animations and how we're supposed to use them. What are the combinations you're supposed to use them with? Put them in flat family, you know, create a small family group. Try to create similar ones together. Like a page curl and a peel off, they go hand in hand. See? Page curl and peel off. See, they go hand in hand. As I told you, cube, doors, box, they go hand in hand. The vortex, glitter, shred, honeycomb go hand in hand. They all four have very similar effects. So they're from the same family. The fracture, crush, airplane, origami, they four go together. It's unfortunate they have not been grouped together. They should have actually grouped it together. It would be so much easier for us to work, right? Instead of we trying to figure out. The drape and the curtains go hand in hand. The drape is nothing but a curtain which is coming from the top. See? Came from the top, did it? And just if you have a slower effect, it shows you even better the drape. There. All right. So drape, curtains go hand in hand. Wind, prestige go hand in hand. Wind is like this, and prestige is like this. So that they both are kind of as somebody just as it was just flying off. Similarly, this one just flew off. They go hand in hand. So you need to know which transitions go hand in hand. Then your presentation will start looking much more effective and appealing. So it says PowerPoint 04, apply the transition on slide 1 to all of the slides in the presentation. So PowerPoint 04 slide, and the question says I'm supposed to apply a transition to slide 1 to all of the, okay. So I have a transition which is applied on slide 1 in PowerPoint 04. How do you know there's a transition on a slide? It's very simple. You have a star over here, and the star shows, as you can see under 1, there's a star. It shows that there's a transition, whereas in case of 2, there's no transition. In case of 3, there's no transition. So in case of 1, if I have a transition applied, he's telling us simply just apply the transition to all slides. So I'm simply going to go to transitions, and after I go to transitions, I'm simply going to go to apply to all. Nothing else, huh? I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to come to transitions and I just click apply to all, and watch, within a second the star is applied to all my slides. That means all my slides now have got the same transition which was on the first slide. It will have the same amount of duration. It will have the same options of after at 2.73. Everything will be the same for every slide. See that? Even the type, this was a shape transition. It's got applied. The same shape is got applied to all my slides. Right? This one. 18B. So 18B says PowerPoint 05, modify the transition on slide 1 to advance after 5 seconds and not on click. So he tells me to modify the transition on slide 1 to advance after 5 seconds and not on click. So basically he's just telling me to change it from manually to make it automatic. That means automatically it should move after I should not need to click using my mouse. So on slide 5, that's what he said, right? So this is my PowerPoint 05. I'm on slide 5. And he says the transition is already applied. You can see there's a star below 5, whereas the other slides don't have a star below them. So you know that transition is only on one particular slide. And here it says after 5 seconds, all you have to do is remove this after 5 seconds, keep after 5 seconds on, and don't go to mouse click. So that effect is already given on this. He was just trying to reconfirm whether you're clear about it. So after 5 seconds is what he asked us to do, which was already done in this case. If it would have been on mouse click, then you would have to actually go and do this after 5 seconds. All right. So this is what he's told us to decide on automatic transition. Let's come to 18C. So 18C says PowerPoint 06 set your timings to advance each slide after 2 seconds. So he says, now what you do is I want you to move from one slide to the other, okay, after 2 seconds. And it has to be applied to all my slides, right? So I open PowerPoint 06 and he says, okay, you've got transitions on every slide, but that transition has to be automatically after 2 seconds. So I go to transitions to see, and I realize that there is no transition. Just imagine, see that? It says none. And the question says, don't apply any of these transitions. Question tells me to do this. He tells me don't go to on mouse click, go to after 2 seconds and apply to all. So I did after 2 seconds and I said apply to all. Now, in spite of me not applying any transition, it says none over here. But I have put after 2 seconds. So now when I play my slideshow, I don't have a transition. But watch, my slideshow will change slides after every 2 seconds. Watch. See, it's changing after 2 seconds. It's just going one after the other. I've not applied any transition, but I've applied the option of my slides moving from one slide to the other after every 2 seconds. He says PowerPoint 07, clear the timing on all the slides. Okay, so now he says that, okay, you have given a timing to your slides and he wants to clear all the timings. So if I have PowerPoint 07 and I'd given a timing, as you know, after 2 seconds, after 3 seconds, after 4 seconds, he wants me to clear all the timings. So I open my presentation and I say, okay, I've got timings over here. So I say, okay, where do I go? I go to transitions and see, okay, there is timings. I go to slideshow and there's something over here known as record slideshow. And under this, I've got a clear button which says clear timing on current slides or clear timing on all slides. So I say clear timing on all slides. And that's simple as that. When I go back to my transitions, there is no timing at all. Everything is 0.